Well, we have Betsy Airy with me this morning talking about Soup of Success. Welcome and thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
I'm excited because I've heard the name Soup of Success circling around, but I've never really dived into what it is and what you guys are all about. Does it have anything to do with actual soup, by the way, with the name? I have to imagine soup is somewhere going on in here.
It does. It does. Let me tell you about it. It's a Soup of Success is a job and life skills training program for women in Elkhart County. And so it's a 20-week program, and there's educational components on everything from like money management to computers to self-defense. I mean, there's just all of it,
Yeah.
right? Like how to communicate, how to deal with conflict better, different things. And then there's career counseling, and then there's actual therapy, individual and group. And then when we're not in a class or a session, we run a small business, a small social enterprise, and we make soup mixes.
Oh, I
So
love that.
that's where that's coming from, and it's pretty cool. So we have 6 soup mixes, and we've got some cookies and dips and candles and amazing mittens that we do. I mean, it's just all that. And the thing that's cool about that is it helps like train the women on how to do all these different kinds of skills and how to work with groups and quality control and shipping and all of those types of things. But then excuse me, also the proceeds from all the product sales go back in and pay the training wages for them
Oh,
while they're on
great.
the program. So that's why that's important.
Before I learn more about how I can pick up some soup and cookies and mittens and all that jazz, how did this even start? Like, where did the idea come from?
Yeah, well, so our agency is called Church Community Services, and we've been around for like 65-ish years. And the board, like 24 years ago, said, how can we break that cycle of people coming back? We're primarily a food pantry. I mean,
Okay.
the largest food pantry in Elkhart County. That's one of the programs of CCS. And then we do emergency financial assistance for things like rent or utilities or those types of prescriptions, that kind of thing. We have a Seed to Feed program now
Hmm.
that it's like a community gardening initiative that's amazing, that provides fresh produce for pantries all around the county. And then the Soup of Success program is the deeper dive. Like, how do we break the cycle? How do we get involved in people's lives to help them figure out why are they stuck and
Yeah.
what's going on and how can, where do they want to go? And it's amazing, Christine. Like, so I founded this program, and it's been growing and growing and growing. And it's not because of me, but because of all of the amazing like volunteers that have come. And I've got the best staff in the whole wide world. And whenever somebody has a gift that they want to share, right? We just keep incorporating it into the program.
Oh, I love that.
So we started out in the basement of a church because my agency didn't have enough space for us.
Wow.
And now we're on Oakland Avenue. We have a small store. We have a huge warehouse. We have a production kitchen. I mean, it's just like we're in stores, over 330 stores across the country. I mean, it's just,
Wow.
I know, it's just way, way different. But, I love it so much because, women come in and they're just, they come in for lots of different reasons into the program. They have to be 21 or above.
Okay.
Um, they have to be clean and sober for at least 6 months. And they have to really want it. They have to really want to do the work. If they're just coming into because they're bored or want something to do, then it won't be a good fit. But if they're really wanting to work on what they want and what they care about, and they realize, man, I am stuck or depressed or whatever, they come in, they might be dropouts. They might be victims of violence. Many of them are. They might have had childhood trauma. They might be just overwhelmed parents. I mean, so many homeless, addicted, criminal backgrounds. I mean, so many different things that have spiraled out and just leave you stuck and overwhelmed. And fear can be such a game changer, like it just stops you in your tracks. And so we work with them where they're at and help them really, really figure out, like, what do I care about?
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
honestly, the ultimate bottom line of everything that we do is we empower women. And that sounds cliche and overused, but it's super legit here. And we talk about strengths-based We focus on the strengths, focus on the individuals. We keep it small intentionally so nobody falls through the cracks, because many of them have over and over again. And we help them find their voice, and we give them hope. And you know what? When you've got support and hope, you can do anything. So it's incredible. Like, I love it.
You know, it's amazing because, the older that I get, the more you kind of look back on life a little bit and you start realizing, because Dave, my husband and I are in this space of, for us, having just been married for almost 3 years now, we're still going through the first, right? We're not up there where we get it, where we know how to do this and that, and everything is still a first. And it makes me think about all that time we spent in education. And I think I learned a lot, but you mentioned finances. Like, when did we ever spend enough time understanding finances? Conflict resolution. When did we ever spend enough time learning about conflict resolution? So it's almost interesting because I feel like everything you're describing really stands true with so many people, and just the difference possibly may be that support system, and you provide that support system that helps these individuals learn more and ultimately let them know they're not alone here.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean,
Wow.
Sue McDonald is our therapist, and she does individual sessions as well as group and with them. And I- also she does a lot of like art therapy kinds of things, and how to do self-expression and manage emotions. And it's just incredible. Like, it's incredible. And yeah, I mean, just when they figure it out, remember when you were a kid and in the cartoons you'd see that little light bulb above the
Yes.
I
Yes.
swear to God, we see that all the time. I mean, you just see it here all the time, and it's amazing. I mean, really, just to help them realize that they're worthy
Yes.
and they don't have to settle
Yep.
anymore. And
Yep.
and we teach them things too, like also like how to move out of the fight or flight reactive
Mm,
state and more into the proactive kind of thinking, and figuring out like how to fight fair, right? And how to disagree with your boss and not get fired or not have
yeah. Yeah.
quit
Yeah.
or whatever it is,
Be-
those types of things.
because that's so hard. That is so hard. Like, even, for me, for me, um, it is like when you get so emotional. My biggest thing too is even negotiating, finding my voice without getting so emotional about it. And I think we all have those different things that we have to work on, again, because who's there to teach us? Like, what, and you're expected, you're like, here you go, here's life, now do it perfectly, right? And
Yeah,
there's just no such thing as
yeah,
perfect. I love what you said about therapy, because I'm a huge supporter of therapy, no matter what you're going through, no matter what age you're in. Or even if you feel like nothing's happened to me, I think you learn so much about yourself and
oh
how
yeah.
to deal with that conflict. So I'm sure that's just been a huge benefit for you guys.
We all have to learn about ourselves. Like, you're never done learning, and
No.
it's just, yeah, I think that should be like a human right. We all have a
Yes.
massage therapist and a
Yeah.
regular therapist. Wouldn't
Yes,
that be
I like
great?
where you're going. Little maybe massages while you're in therapy. Like, I would love that. That sounds lovely. I may start snoring, but that's a whole different discussion. So who is the perfect candidate for you, and how do you, because I can only imagine it's a struggle encouraging people to take that first step. How do you do that?
Yeah. Well, our perfect candidate actually is a woman. She has to live in Elkhart County, and I said earlier she has to be at least 21. Um, but we get referrals from all over. So it could be therapists or schools or walk-ins from the pantry, or friends and family of our graduates. They see the changes in them and they want some of that as well. And really, the process is that they fill out an application, they go through an interview process, and we start 2 classes a year. So we're kind of in the beginning-ish of the class at the moment. So our next class will start in September.
Okay.
And we will be interviewing then in August. Let me
Okay.
think there for a second.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
What comes before September?
yeah.
So
You're like, what month is it? We're almost done with
yeah.
May. Crazy. Yeah. Yeah.
So the thing really that I mean, so many women get wrapped up with their labels, or tags, and it doesn't really matter. I mean, we're all messy, right?
Yes.
But
Yes.
the thing is that it's really about their mindset. And if they are really ready to do the work and go inward, I mean, they're doing hard things here. And we laugh a lot. Like, it's a great time and it's a great program. It's very positive and uplifting, but we also do things like, we're going to write your life story now and like then share it. And hard things. They're looking at hard things to really realize, like, wow, where did I get stuck? Or what, look at this pattern I'm in. I mean, there's all these epiphany moments. And I think as women, okay, so I'm not gonna get all stereotypical here,
Love
but I
it.
think
Let's
as
go.
women, we are wired to be helpers, right? Like, we are great at helping, being someone's wife or helping your friend or your sister or whoever, right? But when it comes to looking at ourselves, that's hard. That's hard. And so this is a very nurturing, safe environment for them to explore that and we guide them through all of the things. And um, by the end, it's just amazing. Like, we've seen women, people always say, what's your success rate? And I love that question because it's depend on who you are, right?
Yes.
So many of them get jobs, right? Which is a great thing, but that's not everybody's goal. And so sometimes they get custody of their kids back. Sometimes they move
Mm,
out of a homeless shelter and into their own safe, affordable housing. Sometimes they get their driver's license or they go back to school. I've been to so many HSEs, used to be called GED graduations, and I think like 8 or 9 college graduations. One got a master's. I mean,
wow.
amazing things. And I've been to these graduations, and it's so, I will admit, I can't get through with that crying.
Of course. Yes,
I'm a
of
big
course.
step, and I try, but I
Yeah.
always cry. And at the end, how you go find your grad and you just want to love on them a little
Yeah.
bit. Say,
Yeah.
way to go, you did it. They have all said, every single one of them has said, I couldn't have done this without Super Success because I didn't think I could. I didn't think I could. And and that goes back to the whole thing. I said it before, but I really believe it. If you've got hope and you believe in yourself, there's no stopping you. Go get it, And so we support the graduates after they graduate from here as well. It's not over. It's kind of like a sorority, right? Like,
Yes.
once you're part of it, you're always part of it.
Yeah.
And so we have open door policy. They can schedule appointments and come in at any time for therapy or just to talk, or maybe they want to use our computer lab to study because their kids are making them crazy, or
Yeah.
or they want us to, like, hey, can you help me update my resume? Or I have an interview next week. Can you help me practice a mock interview?
Yeah.
Whatever it is,
Yeah.
bring
Oh,
it. Let's do it. Like, we're happy to help that. And so we also have quarterly reunions. And so in July, we have this huge picnic coming up with face painting and piñatas and, games. And it'll just be fun, but they can bring all their kids. And it's just a fun, gathering. We try to do something quarterly. COVID kind of
yes,
puts
of
the
course.
kibosh on it, but we're resurrecting it this year. So we're
I
psyched.
love that. So it's really anybody, no matter where you are in your life, if you're looking to improve, be better, maybe just for some guidance or anything, or to, really change your situation, this program is 100% for you.
Yeah. We've had women up to 69 years
Mm,
old.
never too
And
late, that's for sure.
it isn't ever too late, and it doesn't even matter because
No.
they all have that same kind of goal, right? They all want to grab their life back.
Yeah.
And they form a family and kind of a little support
Yeah.
group of each other, and then the staff. And then we try really hard to get them, like, when you're dealing with poverty issues, Christine, there's 2 predominant things. One would be chaos and the other is isolation. And so we work really hard at both of those things. Like, how can we get you connected
Mm,
to people? Because we weren't put on this earth to be alone. We were put on this earth to be connected to other people. And so that's what is just really important, right? You just can't do it alone. And then also we do a lot of organization kind of things, like, how do you how are you organizing this binder? For one, we have a huge binder that we give them, and but like, also your life and your calendar and like
yeah.
various things to, like, calm it all down and figure out your plan and kind of stop reacting and being more proactive. So that's just a big deal for us.
You said something that really stood out to me because I've heard it before too. And it's something along the lines of when you're like surviving versus thriving. And I think it's really important that everybody take a minute and think about that, because when you are living a life where you are just trying to survive, like it's hard to think about anything other than that. I remember, I can't remember who I was talking to from the Center for the Homeless one time. I think the conversation came up about, homeless and all this situation, and the conversation of why don't they just get jobs, right? And
Yeah.
she explained it to me so well. And it's like, it's really hard to thrive when you're just trying to survive. It's hard to think about the resume you're going to put together when you're just trying to survive. It's hard to think about, finding the right clothes when you're just trying to survive, or even having the courage to walk in for an interview when you're just trying to survive. And so I love that you said that, because it's really true. It's when do you finally get to the place, and it sounds like this program is essential for helping people finally make that transition from surviving to thriving.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it stuck with me.
It's important. I think it's a
Yeah,
good point.
yeah. So of course you caught my ear with soup, you caught my ear with cookies and mittens and candles, of course. So when you're in between these sessions, you said that you guys are creating all of these different things and people can buy them. So where do they go, and when are you guys open?
Yeah. So you can go to supersuccess.com at any time. We do the vast majority of our sales are online,
Okay.
but we do have a little store here, and you're welcome to come here Monday through Friday from 8 to 4. So we're open. We do some pop-up shops, occasional craft show here and there. Um, and then if you go to our website, we have a section where you can find out what store is close to you and
Mm,
that carries our products. So, but the mittens are, I now realize it's 88 degrees today and it's hot, but
true, maybe not today.
the mittens are amazing. And we take wool sweaters and
Oh,
turn them,
cool.
yeah, we upcycle them into these one of a kind works of art, seriously adorable mittens. And they're so warm for like, recess or whatever when you're walking the dog
Yeah.
and.
Yes.
And they're so like there's literally, I mean, every possible, and they match, but they don't match. They go
Love.
together, and
Yes.
it's super, yeah, they're just really, really cool. And
Love that.
so we are constantly in need of wool sweaters. They have to be 30% or higher wool content. In order to work for us. So, and then buttons, like especially vintage buttons, because those are the
Ooh.
best, but any kind of button would be fine too. Like if you've got, you're cleaning out your stuff and you find, even if it's a sweater with a hole or a stain, like, no problem, because we're going to cut it up and we can cut around that and design. And so we try to use up the entire sweater. We also make these little trees. And they are made up with scraps that are too small for the
Oh, cool.
mittens, and they're super cute. They're just really, we sold thousands of those over the years,
Well,
but it's really fun.
you're kind of touching on my next question. Like, how can we help you after explaining the amazing work you guys do? How can we help you?
Well, thanks for asking. So, yeah, the wool sweater thing, I seriously talk about that all the time, and very, very, very rarely do I get anybody to take me up on it. So I'm
Oh,
serious when I say 30% or higher wool sweaters. We need them badly. They're kind of hard to find, and if it's garage sale season, if anybody out there sees anything and you just want to, out of the kindness of your heart, donate them to us, we would love that.
yeah.
Also, another thing that sounds kind of weird, but if you follow us on social media, that helps. If you like or share our posts, we put a lot of positive things up there. And currently, so it's Super Success on Instagram and Facebook.
Okay.
And then currently, we are working on we have a fundraising event tonight, actually, the 25th, and it's called Bubbles, Bites, and Bids. And it's a $50 ticket
Okay.
to come to the event. It's an Elkhart at the Lex 530, and you come in the Bubbles, you're immediately greeted with a glass of champagne,
Oh, I love
or
that.
and and then there's yummy appetizers to eat, and then we're having a silent auction. But also, by being present at the event, you have an opportunity to walk away with a brand new Louis Vuitton tote, which is, $24.40. I think it's worth $2,440, which is gorgeous. Um,
Yes.
But if you can't make it to the event, you can also, the silent auction is all online at
Good.
givegrove.com/Bubbles Bites Bids. And we have 35 incredible, like super fun experiences, like things from restaurants or spa services. But we also have things like Chanel earrings or charcuterie classes. Like it's called Boarding School by Grace by Erica. That's
Yes.
super
Oh my gosh,
cute.
we just had them on the show. Yeah.
I mean, she fun. Like, I just think that's such a fun gift. I like people will be excited. We have
Yes.
a Traeger wood pellet grill, big time. That's people excited. Gucci sunglasses with 50-inch TV, and there's
Wow.
some dog training classes. And one of the coolest thing, oh, I shouldn't have said that. One of my favorite items
I'm
is
intrigued.
this
I need to
ultimate,
know.
yeah, it's an ultimate slumber party.
Oh,
And it's a package we put together from 40 Winks. They'll actually come into your home. So it's perfect for a kids party, or if you want to have your besties over
oh my God,
and
I
just
love
have
that.
fun. They'll set up these themed teepees that are incredible. And then it's also bundled with a confetti petty party box
Oh,
and 12 amazing frosted cookies by Frosted by Nikki Brew. And so all together, it's just really amazing. And then
what a fun night.
yeah, I mean, just have fun, right? There's also a package from Lux Wagon, which is a fashion truck and a cart. Have you seen that?
Yes.
So
Oh,
she'll come
yes.
to your driveway and you and 10 of your friends, you know, like she'll give everybody a $25 card and you can come in and shop. And it's just your own private thing. So you can pop, you know, whatever beverage you want and little snacks and whatever your favorite tunes are. And just as all your girlfriends can just shop for whatever. And it's just, I mean, that's just a fun activity. And we also have then like a East Lake Athletic Center has a 1-year membership, and there's, you know, an amazing gemstone necklace from Images. I mean, there's just so many different cool
Wow.
things. And we tried to think about things that would appeal to everyone.
Yeah.
And yeah, and we've had such a generous community. Like they've been amazing. And so we're really excited. We haven't done a silent auction in years, and we've never done one online before, and that'll just
Yeah.
be fun to try. And we'll see.
I'm not even just saying this, but those do sound like some of the best like silent auction gifts that I've heard. So I'm intrigued. I'm gonna have to go check this out. I don't know how Dave is gonna feel about me bringing shopping to the house because I already get in enough trouble as it is. But I will definitely work on that. But I love that. So you don't have to go, you can do all this here. And again, all that money goes back to supporting these classes, right?
Yes, yes, it all comes back to the Super Success program.
And
But if you're interested in the Louis Vuitton bag, you have to be there present. Like, so, but if you can't make it and you want to do everything online, you can do everything, all the other silent action stuff. So
I
just to
did just
clarify.
see that bag on your social media page before we hopped on here and I was like, I need to know more. What's happening? So now you explained it. So I appreciate that. For these classes, do participants have to pay in order to take them? I forgot to ask you that.
Oh, no, not at
No.
all. We pay them we pay them $11 an hour.
Oh,
That's
really?
Yeah, regardless if they're working on our line or if they're in somebody's office crying or if they're in a class, they're paid while they're here because the goal is to help them keep their head above water, right? While we are really working on themselves, while they're working on themselves. And so that's what
Wow.
the proceeds from all the product sales go to pay their training wages.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
amazing. Because when you were saying training, I thought you were talking about the people who are instructing, but no, you're talking about the people who are actually going through this class.
through the class. Yeah. I'm really glad
Wow.
you asked that because that's important to know. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. And you never hear of that ever. Like I've never heard of something like that before.
No, it's really special. And people can apply. They can just send an email to soupofsuccess@gmail.com. They can just
Okay.
send me an email and let me know that they're interested. If they're a woman that lives in Elkhart County, and we'll put them on the waiting list. So for the next set of interviews. It's
This is
cool.
this is exactly why I love highlighting nonprofits because I sit here and I wonder where would we be without groups and organizations and nonprofits like yourselves? Like doing this for our community is just it's awesome. It's inspiring. So I appreciate it.